Hey, it's the nerdy sports fan. We're talking NFL draft, and really we're, less than a week away here. So let's get right into it. We're in the NFC South, and if you've been following my videos at all, you know that we've been doing the DraftNetwork.com's mock draft simulation against their predictive board, doing one team at a time against computer simulation for the rest. Again, doing this a few times is really a great thing to give you a good gauge of what the different scenarios will be for your team. Typically just dealing with top 100 picks because those are the ones that really build your team. Yes, there's always outliers outside of the top 100 like the Tom Brady's and the Antonio Browns of the world, and there's lots of undrafted free agents. Obviously, Philip Lindsay did extremely well last year. But generally speaking, as a rule, the top 100 picks are where the bulk of your roster going forward come from. So, getting into the Panthers, they have some holes to fill, and they've got some good pick placements for those holes. So, they have top 20 pick in number 16. At this pick, I would expect them to go with edge rusher because there's a lot of edge rushing talent at the top of the draft. A lot of people have Clelin Ferrell in this position. Personally, I went with Brian Burns, edge rusher out of Florida State. The mock draft people on television have him, some of them have them very high, some of them have him very low, talking about him maybe dropping, like Ja'Kai Polite, not doing so well in the interview process. I don't buy it. Okay, Brian Burns was nasty at Florida State. Okay, he's a natural athlete. He's big. He's fast. He is the prototype. Okay, is he Julius Peppers? No. Not many people are. Okay, Julius Peppers was a freak, and you knew it right away looking at the dude. I mean, he was big, fast, and really technically savvy right out of the gate. You're getting close to that with Brian Burns, though. All right, he's not 6'7". No, he's 6'5". He's in the high 200s, low 300s, but no, high 200s. I think it was like 270 to 280 is what I saw him at, and just production. Okay, Florida State, yeah, they have some good opponents. They're not competing for national titles right now, but they have. And they tend to draw really good talent, and you can see that with him. All right, he gets around the edge extremely well. He can bull rush. He's got a couple of moves, and you can work with that just with pure energy and motivation from a rookie standpoint, and just developing a couple of more moves. Guy's going to be nasty. Going to pick number 47, I went with Kelvin Harmon, wide receiver out of NC State. Now, this is one of those wide receiver picks that I'm not quite sure why more people aren't talking about him. He's very well-rounded. Look, he's not a burner, okay? He's not putting up the 4.3 40 times that you see that everybody just, has popping off the screen from the combine, but I think the combine's overrated, all right? Most GMs around the league will tell you they're going off of game film, okay? Combine measurements are good to get a good idea of what they physically can be, but as far as what these guys are right now as a player, that's all game film. And seeing what kind of a head for the game they have. Again, all game film. And Kelvin Harmon, if you look at his tape, he's fantastic. Okay? He does really well in contested balls. He's, got decent route tree at the NC State program. I mean, obviously college to pro transition is very, very difficult for the wide receiver position, so I don't expect him to come in and be a world beater, okay? But he's going to be a very good complement to C.J. Moore and Christian McCaffrey in that offense. Just another target option for Cam Newton. Hopefully Newton's shoulder is fully recovered and he can use all those targets better than he did last season. Going into pick number 77, I went with Dennis Daly, offensive tackle out of South Carolina. You need to protect Cam Newton better. Where they had picks at certain positions, it didn't really make sense to go with offensive line until this point, based off the talent that's available. And Daly's going to be serviceable for you as a depth rotational player, maybe a right tackle, pretty quick. So I would expect that sort of production out of him. I wouldn't immediately start the guy at left tackle. All right, that's not really his skill set. But having a good depth and offensive line will help keep your man Cam Newton from being injured again. And lastly, top 100 picks. They have exactly at 100. I went with defensive tackle Renell Wren out of Arizona State. Another guy, look, he's a depth rotational lineman. He's going to contribute. He's not going to be a world beater right away. But yeah, between him and Brian Burns, that defensive front is going to look a heck of a lot better after this draft. And that's where your identity is supposed to be for the Carolina Panthers anyway, all right? Nasty defense and an offense that runs the ball and just does enough to get some points on the board. A draft like this will strengthen that identity that you have in Carolina and hopefully get them back into playoff contention. Again, though, really relying on that right shoulder of Cam Newton to be fully healthy and Cam to come back to form from 2015.